Hey Godlings, I have to report that my good friend Johnny passed away in early August, August 17th. He just turned 77. I'm gonna memorialize the best I can for him. Put it out here. He was 77. He just turned 77. His birthday was like August 2nd, right? He was Air Force paratrooper pararescue. I made sure that he's gonna get full military honors. Johnny was a great friend. He was a great friend. My dad told me a long time ago, you'll be lucky if in your whole life you can count your friends, all of your true friends on one hand. And Johnny was one of them. And I hope I was that way for him. And I was. I miss Johnny. He's a great guy. I'm so glad I didn't spend that much time with him. But I'm so glad for the time that we did have. Johnny was a great guy. He wasn't spiritual or religious at all, but I say in my studies, it doesn't matter in this life if you're spiritual or religious at all. Once you pass, you know different. And what I've heard is we kind of stick around. Now, this is the weird part, right? So I go and I have to do final stuff for him. So we go to the funeral home. And they're asking me, like, you're allowed 3 words on the tombstone. And my mind drew a complete blank. That's the first time, and my mind's usually going all the time, more than it needs to, right? It's going all the time, but that time I drew a complete blank. And after a long pause, all I could say was, not a werewolf. Now the VA won't allow it. Okay. Sorry, Johnny. He would love it, but we can't do that. Whatever. The transgenders can have their way, but Johnny can't be a werewolf. Alright, whatever. Anywho, we'll figure this out. We ended up going for a true friend. And Johnny was that. Johnny would give you the shirt off his back. And I'll tell you, Johnny had some really neat stories. And if you ever watched the movie Big Fish, it's kind of like that, right? Like, he had some neat stories that we were able to verify that, like, after he passed away, they were true. Like when he was in the Air Force, about missions he had to go on. Now it's declassified, right? But years and years ago, you couldn't know about this, right? Like where they had to stop and refuel type of shit. And so, but his adult protective worker found this information. She said, yeah, it was true. I was like, I told you, man. I was like, Johnny had all sorts of neat stories about that. He told me about when he was at Air Force Base in Wright-Patterson, where he's seen UFOs, and where he found information that they had the cure for cancer even. And UFOs. He said, I was supposed to have this information. But Johnny was cool, man. So, like I said, Johnny wasn't religious or spiritual at all. And I remember talking to him a little bit about it. I remember seeing he had Scientology information, okay? I'm like, well, that's weird because he's not religious or spiritual at all. But I asked him, I picked his brain if he just ordered it or he ended up with it somehow, right? But I don't think he read it, but I was picking his brains because I knew a little bit about it. But it was cool because I could still talk to him a little bit about religious stuff, and he understood some of it, but his belief was that once you die, that's it. But I don't believe that necessarily. I don't know if we go along, but energy doesn't die. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It just changes form. But Johnny was a great guy, and he'll live on in my heart because he was just a great guy. He'd give you the shirt off his back, and he had so many great stories. And we had so many great stories, and I can't go into them all right now, but his funeral will be soon. He's going to get the 21 gun salute, which Johnny would say, it's not a 21 gun salute. It's a 7 gun salute 3 times, you know? Yeah, so Johnny was a great guy. He was so easygoing. Give you the shirt off his back. And I've got his kitties now. I've been taking care of his cats for a while now, and it's the last thing I can do for him. And then memorialize him the best we can there. He was a great guy, and I really miss him. I'll put a link to his obituary, okay? But hail Johnny.